Welcome back, Stassa 23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today I have my top 10 knife purchases for 2021, and it was a good year. Got tons of favorites in this list, and I'm just going to tell you now, most of these knives aren't available or they're hard to get. Sorry about that. If you don't like that kind of video, you can just click off if you'd like. But this is just my favorite purchases. And the knives you have in front of you right here, these three are honorable mentions. That just to let you know how good the list is this year. This first one is an awesome custom knife. This is a Trevor Burger. What is it? The LEXK and LMAX. Picked this up at Blade Show. It's got that beautiful hand rub satin finish on there. It looks like vintage micarta right there. I can't confirm that. It's not the smoothest. It's got a very it's got a nice smooth feeling on the open, like when you slowly do that, but I think it's because it has a good bit of lock bar pressure. If you take off the lock bar, you see it does free drop. Excellent blade shape. And I don't think I have any major scratches on the hand rub yet. Nope, not as of right now. These are just expensive knives, but definitely worth it, I will say that. Next up is the A-Purpose Blades Xerx Integral. At first, I wasn't really feeling this knife. Something about it, I don't know. It's an integral. I don't have many integrals. Super comfortable in hand. Nice thin hollow grind. But I started cutting it and I fell in love with it. So it stayed around in the collection. It is a little plain with the scales. I never got around to modding it. But very cool knife. And here we have the VERO Engineering Synapse. I think that micarta is beautiful there. It has like a worn look to it. And I love this blade shape, and it comes down to a nice thin grind. These are the most fidgety knives. You can use that right there, or you can use a little pocket right here to spotty flick it. Comfortable in hand. Very, very smooth action on these. The only reason this one didn't make it in the list because one of its fellow brothers made it into the list. So let's get started. So this is an hour-long video. All right, these are in no particular order. I just have them numbered to remember what number I'm on. First up, we got one coming from VARGA Knives. This is the VARGA VBR, and that stands for VARGA by Riot. These are made by Riot. My particular one is wearing White Storm Fat Carbon. When I first bought it, it had green canvas micarta, which I loved, but he had some of these on his site, and I decided to pick them up. I think it just changed the look a little bit, made it feel like a new knife again. And one thing I will say, this knife is super, super comfortable in hand. You have contoured scales, and the thickness on them really fills out the hand nicely. You can choke up here. It's kind of, it has that Hinderer-esque vibe with the compound grind here. Nice thin hollow grind. That's the one difference between this and a Hinderer. You got a nice thin hollow grind. Definitely has a custom look and a custom feel. I can't deny that. Very smooth action. The flipper tab's a little uncomfortable for my hands, but probably for the average person, it probably wouldn't bother your hands, but you know, mine aren't like most. Excellent snappy D10 on them. You can still get these, I think, or you can DM him. I think he's going to do more runs of these. He's a super nice guy. He will answer any of your questions through DM, and that is the VARGA VBR. Very cool knife. All right, number two, coming from KOENIG Knives, it is the KOENIG ARIUS Flipper Delete. I always wanted a non-flipper ARIUS. I don't know, I prefer a blade hole opening. This thing is just ridiculously smooth, and being ridiculously smooth while being absolutely rock solid, no play in any direction whatsoever. The knife is way lighter than I expected it to be. I mean, I've handled many of ARIUS's. I've had two different ones on the channel. This is their most recent run. Got it at Blade Show as well. Beautiful stone wash on here. I forget, it's either XHP, I think, or M390 on the blade steel on this one. Not sure. I didn't mention it. This one's M390. I'm pretty certain about that. but should have did my research there. Still haven't reviewed most of the knives that I'm gonna show y'all. I will let you know the ones I have reviewed. This one has a nice thin hollow on it. I love that choke up, is so comfortable, especially for my hands. The only thing that I don't like about this knife, the detent is still dialed for a flipper tab, and you can hear it. Watch, listen to this. It has that click, which is perfect for his flipper actions. But whenever I go to flip this knife out, it's a little bit harder to do because of that click. It's basically that detent ball sitting down into that detent hole, and there's no, it's hard for it to push itself up. It's not the end of the world, and it wasn't enough to make me want to get rid of the knife because I like too much about it. Definitely an awesome knife. If you get a chance to check one out, definitely do so. All right, this year I decided to give Hinderer another try, and I kind of fell back in love with them. So number 3, we have the Hinderer Knives EKLIPSE Gen 3 SWEDGED Spear Battle Black Lockside and Copper Filler Tab from Blade Show 2021. I picked this one up from DLT, and I go back and forth, but I think right now this is my favorite Hinderer. I should have bought a Jurassic at Blade this year, but I had already spent too much money, so I held off. I know I would probably fall in love with the Jurassic as well. I just like this one. I have a few skinny Hinderers, and I love those as well, but just it's nice to have one that's the full thickness, beefy beefcake. It slices well. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say well. It slices well. Slices okay. Still hate the flipper tab on most Hinderers that come up and hook like that. God awful right there. But I can thumb flick mine out, and it's gotten super smooth. Like I said, you have black G10 on this side. You have the black standoffs and the black battle black clip and lock side. I think that filler tab just looks really cool with the battle black. That is a Hinderer Knives EKLIPSE. Number 4, coming from Spartan Blades, is the Spartan HARSEY folder. There's things I love about this knife, things I hate about the knife, but the love outweighs the hate by a good bit. You got a very good looking stonewash finish blade on there. This one's in S45V in steel. Mine has now, after getting it back from warranty with him, they did something to fix it, and now it is absolute butter. Before the action got worse and worse, and evidently there was either something wrong with one of the washers or something was off. But once I got it back from them, super smooth. I tested this one. If you hadn't seen it, go check it out. I did a little abuse on it, and no major battle scars from any of the stuff I did. It handled everything like a champ. The S45E is absolutely excellent on this knife. Of course, I don't love how thick it is behind the edge, especially for being like an EDC folder, kind of how they're advertising them. It's not the best slicer, but it's not the worst either. That action is definitely addictive, and I also hate the edge termination. I mean, it's pretty egregious on mine. I mean, you can see it goes back all the way there. I mean, you can see the thickness right there. It would have been nice just to have that cut out, because as soon as I sharpen this, it's going to start to recurve unless I take all this down, which I could do, but I don't feel like it. I'm still thinking about getting this one reground. Not sure. This one is the St. Michael's. That's why I bought this one, because I was waiting on this one in particular. You have the blue anodized titanium in the St. Michael's, and then you have the brush finish on the tie with the surrounding with the blue. I think that looks amazing. And of course, look at that. They got the lock cut out on the inside. Geniuses. Love it. Just a cool knife, and I'm glad to own one. I thought about picking up the smaller, 3.5 or whatever it is, but every one that I've handled had a really stiff detent, so that kind of steered me away. And I don't love the look as much as I do on this one because the blade just looks a little bit funnier with a smaller blade like that. But that's it. That is the Spartan blade HARSEY folder. Next up is an oldie but goodie. I picked it up this year. I've had the production version of this, and this is number 5, the MARFIONE Custom Sigil. Like I said, I had the production version of this, and I did not realize that my local shop had 2 of these still available because these are pretty old. These are older models, well discontinued from MARFIONE. This is a collaboration with Derek Monroe, and I've always liked this knife. It's a love it or hate it. Just think this is a beautiful, beautiful knife, and it's a love it or hate it. I mean, I understand some people think this is the most hideous knife in the world. That's cool. We don't all have to like the same things. It's not a big deal at all. The action on this one's very snappy and comfortable in hand. Stupid sharp. Now, this is one thing that's pretty impressive. This knife, I forget the exact year they made these, but it's several years old, and it had almost a mirror polish on the blade, and it's still nice. I mean, very, very sharp. So whoever sharpened these then, they did an excellent job. I don't know if Anthony Marfione actually sharpens these or not, but whoever did it did an amazing job. That is the Anthony Marfione Custom Sigil. Alrighty, coming in at number 6 is the VERO that beat out the Synapse for me, and that is the VERO Engineering AXON FRAMELOCK. I love this knife. I carried this so many times this year. This one has the hand rub blade. Kind of wish I would have went with the stone wash. I don't know if they offered the stone wash or not on this run because he offers so many different variations. I missed out on the mini. That's one I wish I would have picked up. If anybody has a mini that they want to trade a micarta AXON, let me know. But this bad boy is stupid smooth. All my VEROs are just ridiculously smooth. I like how they have the little cutout window on both sides of this, so you can use both sides very easily. That makes me happy. Just like I said, this one, you only have it on one side, and I like having it on both sides like that. Here's a size difference. So this one's a more medium to smaller knife. I know they did a pre-order for the XL version of these, and I don't know, I very much enjoyed this knife. I have 3 AXONs. That's how much I enjoy it. I know some people won't like this one either, and like I said, that's cool. You can front flip it as well, and it's way easier to front flip these because the tang comes up a little bit higher, or they shave this down, one of the two. I'm not sure. Still need to review some of these. I've been trying, but I'm so swamped with or backed up with reviews. I try to give y'all what y'all want to see. Number 7 is the Custom Knife Factory Evolution. I like this knife so much that I bought one. I think it was this one, and my wife bought me one, not knowing I bought this one. So I have this one and hand rubbed all tie with I think it's a Mokutai clip, and I absolutely love this knife. That grind is wicked and comes down very nice and thin. Super comfortable in hand with those thicker, wider scales, and the action is just butter. I mean, if you ever handled a Custom Knife Factory knife, you know that they are ridiculously smooth. Very smooth, beautiful in my eyes. And once again, I know this is a knife that is only gonna be for some people, but a lot of people loved the Evolution. They sold out pretty quick on the, they sold a ton of the pre-order ones for the 3.0. This is the 2.0. I did not decide to get it on 3.0 because I have 2 of these. I don't need a third. Coming in at number 8 from CHEBURKOV. is the CHEBURKOV Swift, or you could call it Streets, I guess. I think somebody said that Swift means streets in their language. Is what I think is it Russian? I don't know. I don't want to say that it not be. But even though I can't stand the pocket clip on this because it's so, I mean, I can't even lift it up. It's super tight. I just love this knife so much, and I use it a good bit that I can't see myself selling it. If it had a different pocket clip, or it was easier to get in and out of the pocket, I think this knife would be, you know, probably one of my favorites because it's just easy to carry, slices well, M390 blade, nice and smooth action, comfortable in hand, and it's a titanium liner lock. I like that. It's just a clean looking design. You know, it's not a cheap knife just like the rest of the ones I showed y'all, but it's a well-made knife. They do a good job. And I would probably change, I'd probably get, I would probably add a thumb stud to the back right here. I think that would make this knife even better. So I could spidey flick it as well, but I could spidey flick it left-handed. So that is the CHEBURKOV Swift or Streets, one of the two. All right, last two are probably some of my faves this year. I know they are. These are my, so if y'all want to know what my 1 and 2 favorites were this year that I bought. Number 9, you had the Richard Rogers OEM Slim. I wish they did. I wish you would do an OEM medium. One a little bit bigger because this one's a smaller knife. I can still get a 4-finger grip on it. And I like this one like it is, but it would be nice to have one a little bit bigger for, you know, a more heavier duty use knife. This is more like same thing you would use a Sabenza, what is it? The smallest one. Why can't I not think of that? I don't know. I'm going to think of it right after. I might put it on the screen. But that's kind of how I see this one. I just think it's a beautiful design. I love that. It's kind of like the design he used with CRKT. That same blade profile. Only thing I need to do with this one is tighten up the pocket clip, because right now it comes out of the pocket way too easy. I found this on the floor of my truck because it had came out. I guess it got caught on the seat belt. And I did not even feel it, which, whew, these knives were too expensive to not be able to find. So that is the Richard Rogers OEM Slim. Awesome little knife. I don't think you can get these anymore. You have to follow his Facebook and Instagram. All right, and my number 1 favorite knife of 2021 is coming from NCC Knives and Robert Carter. That is the BBM. Nick Chuprin and Rob Carter, both awesome knife makers, and I got super lucky and actually won a couple of lotteries this year at Blade Show. That's the first time ever that I won any kind of lotteries, and this was my pick whenever I got the 3rd alternate call, I guess you'd say. And I think this is a stunning knife. All his color accents and the zirconium accents just look absolutely amazing. I don't know. I've always wanted one of these knives, and it was a dream come true to be able to pick one up. So that is my top 10 purchases for 2021. Let me know what you think. What are your favorites out of my group? Which would be your top pick or top 3, whatever you want to do? Or tell me what were some of your favorite purchases that you had this year. I love hearing y'all answers, and I read them all. I promise y'all I do. Try to answer as many as I can, but it's kind of hard doing daily content. So there you go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolutely wonderful day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.